Hi people, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry for the lighting, and my background is very boring because it is 5 o'clock, so it is pitch black outside and I do not have good lighting. This is the only room in the house where the lighting is a little bit good. You can see something. That's the most important thing, right? That's the case in this room and this room only. I wanted to film in the living room, but my husband is also cooking dinner, so I don't want to make him be all quiet. He cannot be because he's cooking dinner and that makes noise. And of course he's not cooking dinner in the living room, but the kitchen and the living room are in the same room. So anyway, today I wanted to share with you my 24 most anticipated reads for 2024. I wanted to do my 23 favorite books of 2023 like most booktubers do, but I have only read not even 60 books. I don't think, yeah, no, I think I read like 59 books up until now, which is a lot. But it is not so much that I could do one of the 23 favorite books of 2023. So I thought, you know what, let's do 24 most anticipated of 2024. The 24 books that I am most excited about and that I definitely want to read in 2024. So let's go. I got them on my iPad. First off, I have Women of Good Fortune by Sophie Wen, and this is expected to come out March 6th. And this is about high society Shanghai, and it follows a woman who is getting married but doesn't want to. And her two best friends are devising a plan where they will steal all the gifts and all the money that are being given during the wedding to the bride and the groom, and to just leave with those. And yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun, and also sounds like a book that I would like because it's set in a different culture, which I really love. The second book on my list is Emily Wilde's Map of the Oleanders, and this is written by Heather Fawcett, and it is expected to come out in early January. It is on pre-order. I have it already on pre-order, so it will be coming, even though I am on a big book buying ban. This one will be coming in. This I can read as soon as it comes out. And this one is about Emily Wilde, who is a professor who studies fairies, and this time she's going to make a map of the Oleanders, I suppose. So really excited about that because I really loved Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and this is the second book in the series. So excited to see what will happen to Emily Wilde and her studies. And then the third book is Daydream by Hannah Grace, which is the third book in the Maple Hills series, which is a romance trilogy. And right now I am reading the first book of the series, and I'm only on chapter 10, but I'm already really liking it. I like the characters, I like the way that it is written, and I am excited to read this one as well. So even though I have not read the first and the second book, I am still excited to see the third one coming out this year. And it will be coming out in September, so I have some time to finish the first book and start the second book. But I am excited that I can at least finish this series before too long. Okay, and then in April 2nd, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez will come out. I do not know this writer, but I saw the cover of this book and I thought it was really pretty, so that already drew me in. And then I read the synopsis and it sounds like just a really fun read. It is about a man who feels like there is a curse on him because every girlfriend he has, they break up, and then the next boyfriend that this girlfriend gets turns out to be their soulmate, the one for them, and they get married and stuff, and he feels like there is a curse on him. So he makes a Reddit post about this, and then a woman reads this Reddit post and they start dating. And you know, it's a romance, so I'm guessing that that's going to be his soulmate, but we will see. I think it's going to be a really funny read, and yeah, really excited for that one. It will be coming out in April. And then Ellie Hazelwood is coming out with two new books this year, and the first one will be coming out in January, and that is Bride. I have only read one book by her, but I know that she usually makes books that are set in STEM. She is in STEM herself, so you know, that's what she writes about. She makes romances that are set in STEM, and I really loved the book that I read from her. I read Not Love Theoretically, but I have that on my shelf already. I read the other one. What was it called? Bride is something entirely different. Bride is about it's more a fantasy romance because it is about a vampire bride. And this vampire bride gets romantically involved with a werewolf. And we all know from Twilight that werewolves and vampires do not go together. So I'm guessing that this is going to be like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing where the families are not happy about them being together. But I don't know. But I am really excited to read about this one. And then this one is coming out in February. And then in June, there is another Ellie Hazelwood book coming, which is called Not in Love. And this one is again set in science and STEM. So really excited about those two. And let's move on to the next writer. Again in April, this book will come out. The book is called A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, and this is written by Sangu Mandana. And that just sounds like a cozy fantasy type of deal. So I am loving the cozy fantasy romance set in today's world, but being magic as well. So I believe that's called soft fantasy. I'm really loving those books lately. So I just saw that title and I thought, yes, this is going to be a great book for me. I don't know anything else about this book, but I don't need to know anything more. So yeah. And then another book that's going to be released in April is called To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. And that just sounds like such an epic book. And this is written by Molly Chang. So this is about a girl who lives in a world where there is a war. And she has a special ability where she can just kill people by touch, I believe is the thing that she does. And so there are invaders coming and she's very afraid. But these invaders, the prince of this invaders people, I believe, something like that, asks her to switch sides, come over to his side and become an assassin for him. And he says that this will be better for everyone involved. All the worlds, everyone will be better because of this. And also he promises her that her family will never be poverty stricken and they will never starve again, they will never have hardship again. So she has to decide if she wants to become his assassin and use her abilities that she is afraid of, I believe. So that sounds like a great new epic series that is coming up in 2024. So really excited about that one. It will be coming out in April. And next I have two books which are seconds in series, and I have not read the first ones of both these series, but they are in my bookcase on my physical TBR and I am planning on reading them really soon. And the first one is called Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner, and it's the second one in the Fallen Gods series, and the first book being God Killer. Like I said, this book, God Killer, is on my shelf already. I really want to read it, but I haven't gotten a chance to do so yet. I will be picking it up really soon. The second one is coming out in January, so I can move on pretty quickly after I have read the first one, and I'm really excited for this one. And then I have The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence on my shelf as well. Haven't been able to get around to reading that one, but I am very excited about it. And the second book of this series will be coming out next year as well. And that is called The Book That Broke the World. And that just sounds so much like something that I would enjoy because it is about books. Both of those are about books. The series is called The Library Trilogy as well. So really excited about those, and hopefully I can get to the first book really soon because The Book That Broke the World will be coming out in April. Moving on, there is another series that is getting a second book this year, and that is The House in the Cerulean Sea series by T.J. Klune. And this year, the second book, Somewhere Beyond the Sea, is coming out, and I really enjoyed The House on the Cerulean Sea. I thought it was really funny, cozy, fantasy vibes. It is middle grade, and I really loved it, so I'm excited to see what Somewhere Beyond the Sea is going to be about. Going back to series that are getting a second book, even though I haven't read the first book yet, but it is on my shelf. Empire of the Vampire is getting the second book, which is called Empire of the Damned. I thought Empire of the Vampire was a way more clever title, but Empire of the Damned sounds very intriguing as well. And this is written by J. Kristoff, and it will be coming out in January. No, it will be coming out in February. So I've got a lot of books to read before all these new books come out, but I am on a book buying ban. I've promised myself and I've promised my husband that I will not be buying new books before I have read 31 books of my current physical TBR. So I have got a lot to read, but I will be doing that quickly, hopefully. Hopefully I will be done reading 31 books before the end of February so I can get all these new books and stuff my bookcase with them. So moving on to some books and some writers that I do not know yet, but that intrigued me when I was looking up books that are coming out in 2024. The next one on my list is called A Letter to the Luminous Deeps by Sylvie Catherall, and it will be coming out in April. This sounds like something up my alley because I love the sea and I love mermaids. I don't know if this is about mermaids, but it sounds like something that will be very much about the sea, right? Let me just read a synopsis. So I just read a synopsis, and this is about a woman who lives under the sea, and she really loves the sea, and she starts a correspondence with a scholar who also loves the sea, and that scholar does research to the sea and the ocean. So they correspond together, and then they start a romance, and then they discover something that is very secretive, and they want to uncover it to the world because it's going to change everything. But then they suddenly disappear, mysterious. So, and then their respective siblings, they try to find them based on their field notes and their research notes and their letters and everything. And they discover the same secret. And, you know, that sounds so amazing. I'm really excited to get into this one. And this one will be coming out in April as well. So there's going to be a lot of books released in April. April is going to be a big month for my bank account. It's going to suffer. Next, I saw a book title and a book cover that I could not pass up. Medievally Blonde, and instead of Legally Blonde, it's called Medievally Blonde, written by Kate Jacobs, and this will be coming out in April as well, I believe. No, it will be coming out in March. So I just read the synopsis, and this is about a princess who is set to marry a prince, but this prince decides that she is not going to be the queen that he needs, and he finds a girl with a bigger dowry, and then she will prove to him that she is such a good, amazing queen. She can be so good, so she enlists herself in the military academy that he is in. Just like Legally Blonde, where she goes to law school with him, where nobody thought that she could do it. She ended up, spoiler alert, one of the best, top of her class, very good lawyer. Also, by the way, I used to see TikToks of this lawyer who did this Legally Blonde theme. She was a lawyer for people coming into the country wanting to have a visa or something like that. She did that kind of lawyering, but her whole office was pink, and all her colleagues wore pink, and she wore pink all the time, and she was blonde, and really fun. Anyway, this sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a good read, and I will definitely be picking it up because I think it will be so funny and just an easy, fun read. Start of spring with, because this is coming out in March. Next up, I have a book that is about a Egyptian queen, or the daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh. This is called Neferura, and it is written by Malena Evans, and it will be coming out in February 13th. And I have read a lot of books about Greek goddesses and Greek women and fiction like that. So Circe, Ariadne, stuff like that. And I think this will be something like that, but more in the Egyptian realm of history. And I think that I will really, really enjoy that kind of book. So really excited about that one. The cover also is very beautiful. So definitely going to get this one when it comes out in February. Well, maybe I'm not going to get it in February because of my book buying ban, but I will be getting it as soon as that one is lifted. Next up, I have a book that is about aliens. It's called Beautyland, and it is a book about a girl who is special, and she finds herself being special as well, and she finds out that she's an alien. I believe that is what this is about. It just sounds great, and I am really excited to get into that one as well. It is written by Maria Elena Bertino. It will be coming out February, so I'm not going to buy it as soon as it comes out, but will be buying it as soon as I can. No, not February. It's coming out in January already. So next up, there is a book on here that is a historical fiction, and I really want to get into historical fiction because I do remember when I was a kid that I read a few historical fictions and that I really loved those. And I also really like historical fiction movies, and I really like classic movie adaptations like Emma and Pride and Prejudice, Little Women, stuff like that. And this is set in the Spanish Revolution. Not sure, but it is written by Lee Bardugo, and I have heard a lot of good things about this writer. I have never read any of her books, but I am excited to get into it with this one called The Familiar. And this one also will be coming out in April. And next, of course, Brandon Sanderson is coming out with a new book as well. It will be coming out in January, and it is called The Sunlit Man. I have read the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson, and I really enjoyed it. I have already gotten Trust of the Emerald Sea in my shelves, but I haven't read it yet, but I think I will enjoy it as well. There are a lot of people joking about how quickly Brandon Sanderson comes out with new books. I believe it. And The Sunlit Man is something that I'm going to pick up for sure as well. Another January release is by Kate Alice Marshall, and it is called No One Can Know, and I do not know this writer, but this is a thriller. I have not put many thrillers on my list because I don't really read that many thrillers, but I do really want to get into them more. And I read the synopsis of this one, and it sounds like a lot of fun, very mysterious. So this one is about a woman, and she and her husband are getting into some financial turmoil. It's getting financially difficult. So she has to tell him her secret that they have a house. She owns a house together with her sisters that has been her parents' house, and her parents were murdered. She hasn't told her husband this yet because the prime suspect of their murders is herself. So that sounds like a very mysterious, a lot of fun, and I'm very curious to see if she actually murdered her parents or that someone else did it, what happened that night, if she did murder them, why did she do it, and she also, in this book, is going to strengthen the relationship with her sisters, I think, or at least going to try. So that sounds like a fun read to me. I'm currently reading The Christmas Bookshop, where the main character is also getting back with her sister and trying to build their relationship back up. So I am enjoying that, and I think this will be a good book for me as well. Next, I have Oye by Melissa Mogolon. So Oye is very special in the way that it is written like a phone conversation. So the whole story is just told through a phone conversation. So it is about a big family, and one of the daughters of this family has moved off to college. So she is experiencing everything that is happening to the family through a phone conversation or multiple phone conversations with multiple family members. So that's really fun. I think it's really nice to see how it is for someone who is leaving their family and living somewhere else and having to find everything out about the family and what everything is happening in the family through phone conversations. And this family is also going through crisis because there is a hurricane coming and they need to evacuate. And also the grandmother of the family is being diagnosed with a illness that is very bad. So she might die. And that is very heartbreaking. And if you're off to college, you're already having a very hard time, probably because everything is new, college is hard, and you are away from your family and can only know about everything that's happening inside your family through phone conversations. So I think that's a very fun book. Well, it might not be fun, but it's very I'm very excited to read it. I think it's going to be very different from every other book because the way that it's written is just different. And yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Next, I have The Book of Love by Kelly Link on my list. And this one is about two teenagers who are in their hometown that they have disappeared from a year ago. And everyone presumed them dead, and turns out they are dead. And they got some tasks to do to be able to go back to their families and be alive again. And also they want to figure out why they died, what happened. This is a mystery. So sounds like a lot of fun, sounds different, sounds intriguing, and I'm really excited to get into this one. And next up, I have an author that I have heard a lot of good things about, and I really want to get into this author. I want to know what her books are about. And this is Emily Henry. Everyone is always very positive about Emily Henry. She gets a lot of good reviews, and a lot of people say that her books are their favorites. And I have never read a Emily Henry book, and she is coming out with a new book this year called Funny Story. And this is a romance novel. And this is a funny story because it is about two people whose former spouses were exes and got back together. So now they are both single and they are living together as roommates right now. So it sounds like a lot of fun, sounds like a good romance novel that I would be into. And Emily Henry should be a very good writer, and I think I will definitely love her writing. And this is probably going to be the book that I'm going to start my Emily Henry journey off with. So I'm excited about that. So let's move on to the last book already. And this is definitely not sure that this book is going to come out in 2024, but the placeholder date for this book right now is December 2024. I'm going to hope for that for sure. And it is the last book in the Kingkiller trilogy by Patrick Rothfuss, called The Doors of Stone. And this was set to be released in, I think, 2012 or something. But the author, Patrick Rothfuss, has had a lot of hardship in his life, and a lot of things happened to him, which led to him not being able to finish his series. But there are a lot of novellas right now in the series as well. One of them has been released just the past November, which was the first book to be released in 9 years, I think, in this series. So it is promising that that came out, and hopefully The Doors of Stone will indeed be coming out at the end of 2024. But if not, maybe 2025. But for now, I am definitely hoping that they will be coming out in 2024. But I also wish Patrick all my love, and I hope that he's doing okay, and I hope that he will take his time. He should take his time. I just really loved The Name of the Wind, and I hope that this series will be completed soon so I can also complete it. So these were my most anticipated books for 2024. I hope you got some inspiration for your reading out of this video as well. And please tell me down below in the comments which book you are most excited about to come out in 2024. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more from me, and that's it for me for today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!